If we were in the Olympics, what place would you give us?
We're definitely on the podium.
I would say we're on the podium, but
Might be bronze.
it might be bronze.
If you're not first, you're last. We'll be back.
What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Today, I am super excited because I'm joined by an SI swimsuit model, philanthropist, and social media influencer, Christen Harper.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Courtside Club.
Gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I was really excited to have you because I feel like you embody what Courtside Club is. You have so much going on in your life with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, which congratulations, by the way. So awesome. Much. And just all the work that you're doing, but then at the same time, you get that courtside look into sports as well. So totally. I want to cover all that with you today, if you're cool with it.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm so excited to be here.
Cool. Let's talk about SI.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was that initial call?
So first, I went through Swim Search.
Okay.
And even long before that, I mean, SI has been a dream of mine since I was a little girl. I remember seeing the magazine when I was in high school and I remember specifically seeing Kate Upton and being like, wow, like this girl, she is confident.
Yeah.
She is just everything that I wanted to be at that time. I was, we're in high school, insecure, didn't really know what I wanted from life. And she just seemed like she just had it all. And I really looked up to her.
She broke the mold too of that like traditional model when we were younger, because it was all just like tall, super
skinny,
thin. Yeah, and she really broke the mold, but then also like did it in the best way.
She really did. I think now when you look at how far the industry has come, she was really that initial, catapult into that. And so looking back, that was one of the biggest things that kind of made me want to not only become a model, but just love myself and feel confident in my own skin. So Sports Illustrated was really that for me. So growing up, I wanted that so bad and never quite got there. I was with agencies for years and just never was able to get a casting with them. And so I decided to go and just do it myself and do Swim Search, which was honestly the best thing ever. I think I had so much more personal growth because I chose to get outside of my comfort zone. It was something I was kind of shy to do. You're putting it out there that this is something you want.
Yeah, can you break that down for the people who are watching and or listening who might not be familiar with what Swim Search is?
Right. So normally when models traditionally when they get into a magazine, they go through castings. But this was different. They opened the door to every single girl in the world and you would submit a video and hopefully you'd get called back to be a part of the issue. And so for me, it was one of those things where I was nervous to admit that was what I wanted because when you admit that, if you fail, everybody knows you failed.
Right.
So it took me some pep talks from everybody around me to say, just go for it. And so I did it. I submitted a little video and they called me. And
who, break that down. Who filmed it? What was the video?
I was on a beach where was I? I think I was in Newport area or Laguna. And I just kind of just shared a little bit about myself and I tried to just keep it real. I just shared who I am, where I'm from, why this has been such a big goal of mine.
Yeah.
And I think it resonated with them. And for me, being in the modeling industry, I haven't always been the standard size. And SI has always been a catalyst in that area and showing women that, we are a range. We're not just one thing. And you can be so much more than just a model, so much more than just a girl in a magazine. So that's what I really wanted to show. And
well, that's something for me, and I'll admit it to you, is that I also had that goal.
Really? Yeah.
Because as a kid, I was an athlete. And so when they would showcase the professional athletes also in the SI Swim edition, and this was way before they've ever done Swim Search, I was like, that's so cool because I even myself appreciate an athletic body that sometimes you don't see represented as much in the modeling industry. So I think you hit the nail on the head is that they are the company who does that.
And it's so important. I think that's what it's so much more than just being in a magazine and, taking pretty pictures. This representation of women. You grow up seeing an athletic woman that looks like you or a curvier woman that looks like you see this and you believe that you can do anything. You believe that you can do that, but you can also do so much more. You have confidence to walk into any room and just be sure of yourself. So
So I looked at SI because of the sports. Did you play any sports growing up?
No, I mean I was a cheerleader. So
okay, which is high key a sport.
I was competitive. It was tough, but I grew up. My brother played professional hockey for a bit, so I grew up in a hockey house. So I was always around sports, but more like against my will, like being dragged to hockey games and doing my homework like in the car on the way to games. So for me, sports has always been a part of my life, but maybe not so much in the way that I was involved in it.
So hockey is one of the sports that I haven't really gotten into thoroughly. I went to my first Rangers game.
That's a good game to go to.
Okay, so every hockey fan I talk to is like, okay, the Rangers are one of the best.
Yeah, I feel like there's like good energy there. I feel like that's a good place.
Sure. So what was your team?
So, well, growing up, I'm from California, Southern California, so I grew up a Kings fan.
Okay.
So we grew up going to Kings games, and then my brother played a little bit for the Florida Panthers, so then I was a Florida Panther fan. So I kind of jumped teams, but the Kings always have a special place in my heart.
So you went to your brother's games, I'm assuming.
Yeah, all of them.
And in the Courtside Club, obviously, we are the people who get that front row look into what's going on.
Right.
Going to your brother's games, obviously that's a family member of yours, and your now fiance also plays in a very rough and physical sport. But talk about being at those hockey games where, you know, fights might break out or the fans are also pretty rowdy. Like, what are you hearing when you're there? And I know myself, when my boyfriend's on the court, it's sometimes hard to hear what the fans are saying or kind of being in that mix.
Totally. I feel like I see that. Yeah, I saw that when I was younger, and I see that especially now with Jared at games. People can be crazy. People can be mean. And I think what I've learned is to just not listen. At the end of the day, it's a game. And of course, it's important. For us, it's our life. Right. And it's his life. But for all those other people there, they're just there for entertainment. And they're going to say things, and they're drunk, and they're whatever. So what I've learned is to kind of block out that noise and try to enjoy the moment, because this is so like it only lasts for so long.
Definitely. Have you seen when Russell Westbrook came out during the season? Because people, you know, I know Russell Westbrook, he's like one of the nicest, kindest basketball players that I have ever met. And, you know, but he is polarizing when he's on the court. And a lot of fans were, you know, coming after him, but then took it a step further to like talk to his wife or like say things about his family. And, you know, and that seems to me when players say, you know, you can say whatever you want to me. I know kind of what I signed up for, but keep my family out of this. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy that people have the time and energy to do that. I mean, I get the most death threats after a loss. My DMs just blow up with like crazy stuff. Yeah.
Which is kind of insane to me as well, because you are somebody who obviously your life with Jared is such a big part of your life, but at the same time you've created your own career and you have so much success in your own right. And it's not like you're on social media shoving it in everybody's face about your fiance, you know? So
it's funny. So when I was shooting Sports Illustrated this last year, I was in Barbados, and there was this video of me that went viral. The Lions had their first win, and that comment section, the whole thing was like, if she really was a fan, she would have been at the game. And it's like, seriously? Dude, I can't win, because if I was at the game, they'd be saying, you're a gold digger. All you're doing is following your boyfriend around. So you really can't win. If you're at the game, you're too invested. That's your whole life. If you're not there, you're not supportive. So as women, it's like, it's impossible to win, because they're always going to say something you're doing is wrong.
Well, that's kind of crazy because I saw that video and I thought the complete opposite. I was like, oh, this is a really sweet moment, because you could tell how much you cared. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You weren't able to be there, but you were
so mad I wasn't there. But I was doing I was living out my dream. Meanwhile, he's living out his dream. It's like, it was such a magical thing that was happening at the same time. But people just couldn't see that. They were like, oh, she doesn't care. She's at a beach somewhere. And I'm like, okay.
So if we were going to stick you on a football team, what position would you play?
I mean, well, also, I should say I don't know football as well as I know quarterbacking, because that's probably all I know. So I guess I'd have to be a quarterback, but good luck. I'm not going to be doing too good. But yeah, I feel like before games, I'm quizzing him on like plays and stuff. So I'm like, I know what's going down, but I don't know what any of it means.
It's a cerebral position. on the field more so than any others because like you said, there's like a lot of plays to memorize and knowing where your teammates are and whatnot. So
totally. I had no clue about that whole side of it. I remember like when we first started dating, I just thought, I mean, I don't know. I knew he played football. I'm like, okay, you just like throw a ball around. But I had no clue the like work it takes to just like know the whole playbook, to know all these, like, it's incredible. Like the way they can memorize these plays. I mean, the entire team has to know all their stuff, but it's pretty incredible to see firsthand. I'm like, okay, I guess you got it going on.
Yeah. Going back to your work as a model and most recently an SI swimsuit model, what kind of work goes into that? Because I actually did listen to an interview that you did where you talked about you being physically sore after your SI swimsuit shoot, which was kind of confusing to me because, you know, I've taken photos here and there. I'm not a model, but I was like, why would you be physically sore from taking photos? You know,
totally.
So why is it labor intensive? What were you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, every shoot is definitely different, but for something like Sports Illustrated, they're always trying to like push the limits and do some like new stuff. They're breaking boundaries. They're doing all this stuff. So we're always like, I don't know, posed on some crazy cliff, like
contorting
our bodies different ways, and it's just you end up getting like sore in places that you're never sore because you're holding these crazy positions for so long, and you wait there until you get that shot and the sun is hitting you just right. So sometimes it's really fast, sometimes it's really slow, and you're holding these poses for so long. It's like Pilates. So
how long was that shoot?
That one, so the last shoot I did with Sports Illustrated, it's a one-day shoot, but it's like sunrise to sunset. So we're getting up at 4 a.m. to do makeup, and then we head to the beach, and I did about like 17 bikinis that day.
Oh, wow.
So it's a lot.
So then how many make the final cut? Because it's not all 17, is it?
No. I think in the issue, I have 2 or 3 suits. Mm-hmm. And then if you go onto like the website, you can see almost all of the suits, which is cool.
Yeah. No, that sounds crazy, like waking up at 4 a.m. to go take photos, which I'm sure a lot of people look in the magazine and they're like, or digital copy, however you're getting it nowadays. Yeah. It is 2022. We don't all get the actual hard copy magazine. But they're looking and they're like, oh, these girls are gorgeous. I'm sure it just took like 1 hour. They changed a couple times. Boom, done.
It's definitely a lot more labor intensive than people think. And you're just running around. It's so hot. I mean, all of that still doesn't sound that hard, but if anybody stepped in, they'd be like, okay, so I'll give you some credit. It's a little harder than it looks.
So your cheerleading background came in helpful for SI.
There you go. It did.
Yeah.
Just holding those poses and stuff.
So Christen, on Courtside Club, we like to take a halftime break. So I have a little game for you if you're down.
Yes. What is it?
I'm going to make you get physical today.
Okay.
So we have a game of heads up, but it's the acted out version.
Oh my gosh.
Are you down for that?
I mean, are you down for that? Are you ready?
I'm so down. Let's do it. So we're at halftime. I have a game of heads up, but we're gonna act it out.
Okay.
So this category is acted out for the gold. You got this?
I'm ready.
All right, so I have to guess.
What? Okay.
Speed walking? Power walking? Running? Race? Racing. Walk racing? Race walking?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously?
What is that?
I know.
What?
Flying. Parasailing. Airplane. Bird. Badminton. Birdie. Tan. Clear. Cream. Shirt.
Oh,
you can also skip.
Okay, next. Okay.
Powerlifting. Soar.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that was my best one yet. Okay.
Lifting. Weightlifting.
Mm-hmm. Okay, come on.
One more. Okay. Ballet. Dancing. Oh, gymnastics. Balance beam. Yes. Graceful. Yeah? Oh. Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Rowing.
No.
Kayaking. Canoeing.
No, it was speedballs.
It was what?
What the hell is race walking? Tug of war.
Yeah.
Wait, is it down for yes?
Down, yes.
What time is it? Clock, stopwatch.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm crushing it.
Let's skip it.
Oh, swimming.
Yeah.
Dribble. Basketball. Dribble. Little basketball. Ball. ball. Okay. Your ball. No ball.
I can't do it. I don't know. Without being like vulgar. Okay.
Oh. What's she doing? Okay. Balance beam. Oh, what are those things?
Yeah.
The thing in the Olympics, the guys do it. The camel horse.
No, the other one. Parallel bars.
Yes.
It was ball boy, but I was like, listen, there's only one way to
me.
No, I said me, not me. I get so nervous.
I get so nervous. I know.
Here you go.
Okay.
Shoot, swish, nothing but net, basket.
Yeah, you said it. Net.
Yeah.
Okay.
Olympics, the torch.
Yes. Okay.
Carrying the torch, the Olympics, the world first word is Olympics, torch, stadium, Olympic arena,
Ooh, next,
crowd.
Next.
Okay.
Okay.
Swimming and balance beam. Ballerinas. Oh, synchronized swimming.
Yes. You got it. Okay.
Trampoline.
Yes.
Okay. The sound effects. Fencing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
On a
ready?
roll now. Dribbling.
Yes.
Killing it.
Okay.
Sumo wrestling.
Okay, wrestling, yeah. Next.
Okay. Sorry.
Wait.
Bicycling. Tricycle.
Yeah. Tricycle.
Sorry.
Cycling. That kind of counts.
Brain fart. Big time.
That was good.
Actually, that was
our
really
best
good.
one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, she's sweaty. She's tired.
Yeah. Oh no!
It's at that
fine.
point. Oh, strong. Man.
Yeah.
Box. On the TV. Sports broadcasting.
Yeah,
television.
I mean television, yeah.
Okay. Oh, she's lifting barbell?
Yeah.
Yes. Cycling. Triathlon, biking.
But.
Whoa. Decathlon. Wait, you're driving?
Just give it fine.
Sorry, I'm bad at this, I'm realizing.
Oh.
Racing. Starting. Sprint.
Oh my.
Sorry. Cartwheel. Gymnast.
I can't do it. My whole mic's gonna fall off.
Handstand.
Yeah.
Yes. Running fast. She's fast. She's so sprinter. She's so fast.
What did she say that you say that we got, but I wasn't even like.
I was like, yes.
You just counted it. So your social media presence has grown over the years, and I feel like you have transitioned into focusing more on that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's been such a I've been in the modeling industry. I actually started when I was 9. So I'm 29 now. So almost 20 years I've kind of seen it change. And so when social media first started coming out, it was almost frowned upon by agencies.
Yeah.
Like you didn't want to be a social media girl. They wouldn't take you seriously as a model.
I remember when it was there was the Instagram model category and then the real model category.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time I had this idea that I couldn't do that or I wouldn't be taken seriously. And then like everything, I just started realizing I'm just going to do what I like. And if that happens, it happens. And so thankfully I organically grew in a small way. And it's been fun. It's just fun. It's a fun place to connect to people and really get those conversations and show what you want to show. Whereas when I show up to set as a model, I have no say in any of it. I'm just showing up and putting on some clothes and nobody knows anything about me.
Right.
And so on my platform, I have the ability to show what I want to show and what's important to me.
Is there any strategy that you have behind it?
Oh my gosh, I wish I would probably be better.
No, but that's really impressive actually to have the following that you have and to not be thinking about it so much.
Yeah, I wish I should be a little bit better at it, but it's also it's one of those things where I have friends that just are so good at it, so it comes so naturally. For me, it's not as natural, and I share what I share, and some like things I like to keep private, and that's fine. And I just am happy that some people are like interested, I guess,
and like following along. Have you noticed that in any castings now? Because I know in the television industry and even the movie industry, it's gotten to the point where casting directors, producers, anybody who is casting for a show is also asking for social media numbers. Have you noticed that at all?
Oh yeah, I feel like I started seeing that like about 3 years ago. I would walk into a casting, they have you write your name and your agency, and then they would write like, how many followers do you have? And I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was like, the last 3 years you told us not to do this, and now all of a sudden you care? But it's smart. Like, why wouldn't they?
Do you think that hurts any of the people who might have more skill than somebody who does have a bigger following? Because I think for me, it goes both ways, because I'm somebody who has built up their social media and I'm really proud of it. And I do have a strategy behind mine, and I work hard to keep it to where it's at. And I know that helps me in business. But I do think maybe on the side of like actors, I know a lot of actors who are super talented, but they don't give a damn about social media, but it hurts them.
Yeah.
So
I think that happens a lot. I think that has always happened in certain ways in the world, with people getting certain things because of maybe reasons that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. And I think if you're not into it, you're not into it. And hopefully you'll get in front of the right person at the right time, and it'll happen anyway and organically.
Right.
Because you can't force it too. Like if you're really not into social media, it's like you can't force it.
This is true.
But yeah, I definitely see both sides.
That was something in the music industry also. I know that you do enjoy TikTok, but that was something that was going around the music industry because a lot of the the labels were asking their artists to kind of make songs for TikTok. And these artists are like,
what?
No, this is not what I've been.
This is my art.
Right,
like, I'm
exactly.
Not making it for
So I think there's a thin line, but we're seeing a lot more of that. But then I also think, on the other side in sports, it's also a good and a bad thing, because you have the death threats that you get.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. But you have that negativity on that side, but then you also have the ways that we can get to know players better.
100%. And connect.
And build their brand, because like you said, it doesn't last forever.
Right. Totally.
Is there anything that you and Jared have done like as a couple to try to kind of build that brand or presence?
I think for the longest time we kind of like to keep things separate, just because I think it came from more fear of me feeling like people were thinking that I was achieving things because of him. So I really tried to keep our brand separate. Also, like, you never know what happens in relationships. So we kind of kept things private for a pretty long time. Now that we're engaged, I mean, I feel
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I feel more comfortable doing things like that, but I also love each having our own thing and being able to, like, at the end of the day come together and like talk about what we did that day.
Definitely.
I feel like you intertwine too much, it gets complicated, but some people really make it work.
It's hard, but then you see those couples on social media and like on YouTube who make a whole channel or a whole social platform just about what they're doing, and it's kind of relying solely on your family, which is also a lot of pressure. I personally couldn't do it. I feel like most of my pages are all like work related, and that's why I feel comfortable sharing.
Right.
But you also had a little cameo on Hard Knocks, I believe.
I did, yeah.
Are you looking to get more into acting?
So once upon a time, that was definitely a huge goal of mine. I do love it. I took a lot of acting classes growing up. It's definitely something that's super fun to me. I would love to do things like that. It's just fun to use, I don't know, when you work as a model for so long, you show up, you kind of just like I said before, you kind of just show up and you're told what to do, what to wear. You don't really have a say in anything, but when you're acting, you get to, put your spin on things. You get to use your voice literally.
Right.
And so for me, that's a little more fun. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that would be a fun thing to like start aiming for in the future.
Is there anybody in the industry right now that you look up to or that inspired you and you're like, oh, I think I could do that, or that's maybe a path that I'd like to follow?
There's so many women. I mean, Camille Kostick to me right now is like such an ultimate goal. She's amazing. She's, first of all, the kindest human ever. She was one of the people that really made me want to do Swim Search and get into Sports Illustrated that way, just because of everything she did. I think she's just all around like a really good human, and she's doing amazing things. So she's definitely
Yeah. I see her hosting red carpets and stuff too, which is really cool.
Really cool. And she's so good. She's just so good at it.
I think she's also somebody, and I've never met her, so I'm totally just going off of like what I've seen of her. She's somebody who's unapologetically her.
100%.
Like, it seems like if I were to meet her, I'd be getting what I assume that she is because of her social media.
Exactly the same. And she's just literally a light ray that walks into the room. She's so awesome.
So what are you working on right now that you're excited about? Obviously, Sports Illustrated came out last month.
Yes. So aside from Sports Illustrated, I have a few fun little secret projects that I'm working on that I can't really talk about. I hate when people say that, but I can't really talk about them yet. But
can you give us the genre of what they
I'm
are?
going to be doing some stuff in the swim space.
Cool.
Some swimsuits and some clothing.
Love.
So that will be really fun for me. I haven't really done that before, so it's really exciting to be a little bit behind the scenes and get to do and create stuff that I really love.
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time volunteering too in my spare time. With modeling, the great thing is you have a lot of time off. So in those days, I like to fill up my space with that. So I worked with Girls Inc. over the past this last semester, which was really fun. And they're a nonprofit in LA. Well, they're all over the country, but I worked with the one specifically in LA. And it's just like this amazing nonprofit that just helps girls just feel confident and just allow them to grow up feeling like brave and smart and bold. And
so what are you doing with them?
So I work with them in the classroom. And this last few weeks it was focused on STEM, so it's helping girls get excited about science and math, and hopefully that they'll go on into those fields. And for me,
that's giving me Carly Kloss. Doesn't she do a lot of that too?
She does a lot of stuff in coding too. She does amazing stuff. For me, growing up, I mean this is kind of deep, but I grew up I was modeling at the age of 9, so I grew up feeling like my worth was solely on the idea that I was pretty. And so I never really grew up hearing that I was smart or, strong or confident. Whereas you played sports. I bet you heard that a lot. I hope you did.
Yeah, I think it was more maybe about that than the look side, I guess. So maybe we flip-flopped. It was more about getting my body to perform and not looking at my body for how it looks, I guess.
And I think that's important. And I feel like
definitely
I want all girls to grow up feeling like that. And so what we do at Girls Inc. is we really just allow them to build that confidence within themselves so they can go through the world and go after what they want. It's not to go after modeling or anything like that, but to just feel confident to then go into jobs in science and math or be the next president or anything. Just give these girls the confidence at a young age to just walk into a room and own it.
Yeah, that's really cool. That is something though that I've talked about multiple times when people ask me about body image or negative comments that I get, all these things, and for my body specifically, and I think this comes from being an athlete, I've always just appreciated it for how my body performs. And I feel like my body looks great when I'm hitting my performance goals,
That's awesome.
So in basketball, if I was, running faster or, just doing well on the court,
right.
My in the mirror, my body looked great. But if there was a time where I had taken time off or I wasn't hitting the goals, then maybe I felt less secure about myself. So I feel like that's something that sports instilled in me. What do you think gave you the confidence that you have now? Because you started at such a young age.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine it being easy.
Yeah, it wasn't. I remember specifically I was in a shoot when I was 10 or 12. It was for a very popular brand. I was so excited to be there and I was shooting. And then someone told me oh, suck it in, suck in your belly.
Oh.
And I was 10. And I didn't even, until that moment, I really just, I feel like I didn't even think know that. Yeah, right. I didn't know what my belly looked like when I was doing things. It was just used for me to run around. So I feel like there was just such a switch when that happened where I became so conscious of what I looked like. And so I struggled with self-esteem and what I looked like for such a long time. I don't think I went to a single pool party or beach day when I was in middle school or high school because I was so just worried about what I looked like.
Wow.
And so it's crazy now that I'm a swimsuit model, but it was really, like I said back in the beginning, Sports Illustrated, I saw Kate Upton and these women that were just so confident and they just loved themselves. And that's what I wanted. I was I want to be her, not because she's beautiful or whatever. She just looks like she loves herself. And that's been my journey. And I feel like now I've gone through so many waves in my life where I've been smaller, bigger, whatever, but I just feel good in myself because it's the least important thing about me. Like I have so much more to talk about, to share. It's like an afterthought, you know? And I feel like that comes with age and also just like I wish I could tell every young girl that, but they probably won't get that till later. But now it's like, who cares?
But now you're just leading by example. And I think what Kate Upton did for you, you're able to do for other women. You might not even know. You might not even know right now, but there might be somebody on a podcast in 20 years that's like, I saw Christen, you know, on social media. That's how, you know, and like looked up to her, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I think it's awesome.
I hope. That's my dream.
So we are reaching the end of the game, and I have some buzzer beaters for you.
Okay.
Break down your courtside fit.
Ooh, I love, that's like my favorite part about football season. Is this supposed to be fast?
Putting together outfits.
For me, it's a sneaker. I'm not going to be wearing heels to a football game. I'll be in jeans, and I love to get vintage. I find vintage pieces, like vintage Lions gear, like bomber jackets, things like that. It's like a fun little hobby for me, so I'll always find something good. But I like to keep it pretty low key. But
have you adjusted to the weather?
Oh my gosh, so I grew up in California. So for me, that was
I grew up in Ohio, and we would go to Michigan a lot because my grandparents lived there. So, I got out of there.
Yeah.
Partly because of the weather.
It was a lot better than I thought it would be. I actually figured out why people like love seasons. I never got that. I was like, no, what are you talking about? Like it should be summer all year. But now I get it. I love the summer and fall there is like so beautiful. You almost can't beat it. And then winter I weirdly like loved. Like the first snow was truly amazing. And then you just bundle up. And
How old were you when you had the first snow?
Oh, well, first snow when I was in Michigan.
Okay.
No, I've had snow.
It wasn't
here.
your first snow ever.
No,
I was about to say, if you were in your late 20s for your first snow.
No, we would drive to the mountains and stuff growing up.
Okay.
But it's different. Like, I feel it's not as cold here. Even when you go to the mountains, like, it's never as cold. Like, there were some days in Michigan. I think the week we left, it was like 7 degrees, that was new for me.
Well, you know that we would have cold days where we'd get called off school. Because if the wind chill was under, I think it was -15. If wind chill's under -15, then you don't go to school. But I had like many cold days called off.
Well, we had fire days growing up, so it's all
honestly I might take cold over fire days.
I know, I think I would too.
Okay, so what is your ideal food and drink combo while sitting courtside or field side?
Ooh, that's a good one. It depends. If I'm like outside and it's hot, I really love those like mango cart beers. Have you ever had one of those? They're so good.
No,
anyways,
I haven't.
Really good. Okay, we'll get you some of those.
Got it.
But I feel like I mostly last year, I didn't know this, but Detroit's really big on like Moscow mules. So I got really back into Moscow mules.
Oh, interesting.
So that was kind of my game day drink last year. And I just am a big snacker. I want French fries. I want chips. I just love any salty, crunchy vibe.
So French fries, chips, and a mango beer and or Moscow mule, depending on
which
the mood.
Normally it's tequila for me. So that was a big change up.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there was one person, dead or alive, that you could sit courtside with, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I feel like there's so many people.
Well,
it depends. Like, do you really want to have fun, or do you want to like get down to business and like
it's up to you.
Figure out some like crazy things?
You know, you could have somebody like a Mike Ditka or something like sit next to you and just run down like everything that's going on.
That would also be good for me.
Or or somebody who's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like I would want to go the fun route. I feel like I like love Will Ferrell. Like I feel like he'd be a hoot at a game.
I was not expecting that.
I don't know why that just came to me. But like, I mean, he's alive. There's definitely sorry, Will. There's other people that would probably be great, but I just feel like he'd be really fun to just like sit at a game.
He would be really fun.
And he would just like,
honestly.
And
if he like wore his like semi-pro outfit.
That's what I would want. Like that's what I'm envisioning.
The whole thing.
I think that's what we would do.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, and last one. What is one event in history, it could be sporting or otherwise, that you would have loved to have been courtside for?
Ooh. That's a good question. Maybe like the Miracle on Ice.
Cool.
The landing on the moon. Like,
yeah, you could totally.
Heck yeah. Can I be up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the courtside seat.
The first landing on the moon. Courtside seats.
Done. That's so good. No, I've had people say like they want to be there for when their family like immigrated to America.
Oh,
I've had like no. no. I'm saying you don't have to go that deep.
Okay.
You don't have to. But then we've had like when Diana Ross was in a helicopter going to the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Iconic moments in
time. So
okay.
It's across the board. It could be fun, but I like the moon.
I think the moon would be...
That would be pretty dope.
That would be the best courtside seat you could ever get.
Because there's also conspiracies that it didn't happen.
I know, but I would know.
You would know because you'd be courtside.
Can happen.
I love it. Well, Christen, thank you so much for coming on Courtside Club. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me and follow me on Christen Harper. My Instagram is Christen Harper. That's just my name. And then I'm on TikTok as well. And yeah, you can also find me in the Sports Illustrated issue that just came out. Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, guys? It's Rachel DeMita. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Courtside Club. Make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcast. We have new episodes coming to you guys every single week, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon.